it is my privilege to introduce Isaac um, to to come and share his job search story. Now, Isaac, he's working. He's has a work through date. In my story, he played it just right. He'll end and he'll maybe have a week off and then he'll start his new job. But on top of all this, Isaac decided to do something different than what he was doing before, something that he might more enjoy. So, Isaac, thank you for coming and sharing your story. And some of the people who here do know who you are. I think you know Tommy.
I do know Tommy, and I think I've talked to Taro once before. So I about a week after we found out we were getting laid off at Vive, I started putting my resume out there, and I had two interviews the week before Thanksgiving. One was with the bank, one was with the credit union, and the one with the bank went okay. I didn't feel like I was going to be a great fit for them, but through the process of that interview, um, I was able to get some insight because I've been in the accounting world for 6, 7 years and it's not really been a great fit for me. So I was looking to do something a little bit different. So I'm looking at doing underwriting at a bank or a credit union for business loans. And I had the interview with the credit union, and it was arguably the best interview I ever had. And at the end, I was told that I was a really strong candidate. They were open to training me because I clearly didn't have underwriting experience. And they're like, yeah, there's probably going to be one more round with the hiring manager, and then we'll like let you know. And I woke up last week on Tuesday to a text message saying, hey, we have a job offer for you. And I was able to look at it, and then I had to do a little bit of negotiating so I can still I'm not getting the week off, but I'm able to get my severance and start the new job. And yeah, I feel very, very lucky and blessed to have it work out this way.
Anything special that you did, you think that moved the needle so you or even got the interview because your qualifications probably, well, I don't know.
So, so I went to a couple of people that like worked at a bank and had them look at my resume and be like, okay, I have an accounting resume. How do we get it to be more of an underwriting resume? So Steve, you helped me with that. And kind of just tailored it so it focused on the skill sets that matched the job as opposed to the what I did. And I think that went a very long way. And I think I finally got to the sweet spot of how to communicate in an interview where I'm being honest with what I'm looking for. And that helped me find like make the connection that made the most sense for the job that I ended up accepting.
Okay. Um, so I'm gonna put I'm gonna open the gallery up here and put a few people on here to ask you questions. Um, unless you have any more that you want to share as far as secrets that you think work to your advantage or something that you'd recommend to do, or on the other hand, would recommend not to do.
Um, I guess I specifically took one or two aspects from the interview from Zion's, and I was able to bring that bring those experiences into the very next interview, and that helped kind of bring a level of comfort to the person that was interviewing me. So the person was explaining something that was specific to the underwriting world, and I was able to take what he explained to me and then apply that in the next interview. So I guess take the interviews as a pers possibly a learning experience to apply to the next interview.
Okay. Well, I will put some people to ask questions and I'll
Okay.
pick somebody that you know. A couple people you might know. At least one is Tommy. And I'll stick Tommy on here with you. Hold on. Let me put two together and there we go.
Um, I don't have any
You don't have
questions.
any questions. Okay.
I'm just excited that he found a job that lined up right after
Yeah.
his time ended here. What is your end date at Five?
January 2nd.
Okay, so awesome. That's great. That's lined up that way. That's my
And,
question was
Yeah.
an end date was.
and didn't you get an additional, didn't they want to extend you 1 month and you, that was that kind of hairy a little bit?
It was a little hairy. So the original end date was December 15th. They extended me to January 31st, but I didn't sign the extension. So when I got the job offer, I tried to push back to February and they were like, no, we need you to start before February. So I had to talk to HR about the nuances of the situation. And since I didn't sign the extension, they agreed that I just need to make it through the 15th, but I agreed to stay to the 2nd of January.
And have you ever played in this bowling alley that's behind Tommy, the Vive Financial Bowling Alley?
All the time.
Okay. Next up is Kevin.
Yeah, I don't really have any questions. I just say congratulations, Isaac. That turned out to be a good timing for you, and
Thanks.
yeah, it's fantastic. So congratulations.
Okay.
Thanks.
Next up is Jason.
Well, congratulations. Yeah, I was just trying to imagine what during the interviews, how do you, since you're interviewing for something different than you really have the experience for, how do you play that? So, and I assume that
Yeah.
underwriting and accounting aren't night and day difference, but
Yeah.
how do you
So,
start fresh, I guess is the question.
yeah, so I've honestly been thinking about doing a career change for a year and a half, 2 years now. So, the head of our department, I met with him being like, hey, accounting's not really my thing. I'm looking at a career change. I'm thinking about maybe going back to school or something else. And I also started really delving into Simon Sinek's Find Your Why or Start with Why, which is like we all have something that we do when we're at our best. And going through that process and talking to the leader at my team, I was able to figure out, okay, I'm at my best when I'm doing this, and accounting isn't doing this.
Right.
So, talked to him, and he mentioned how each bank has a community reinvestment act like function of the bank where they're trying to go into low income areas and like get some loans out into that area
Right.
or fund those projects. And I went, that feels much more aligned to what I want to do professionally. And he back in March set up a one-on-one with me and someone who's in charge of that for UBS Bank. And I was like, hey, if I want to get over to this field, how would I do that? And he said, he gave me three options. One of them is to be a data analyst. One of them is to know all of the non-for-profits in the area. The third is to have underwriting experience. And I was trying to do a continuing education to get me certified in data analytics, but the sale of Vive happened before I could get that locked in. So it was like, okay, let's see what the overlap is between accounting and underwriting. I went to Claude AI and be like, hey, can you tell me what are the skill sets that are in both? And I talked to someone at the Bank of Oklahoma and the head of our department, he also now works for a bank. So it's like, hey, like I can do this, right? And they both said, yes, you have like it's an overlapping skill set. You just don't have the technical experience, but you have the skill set.
Hmm.
So I got the like stamp of approval. I went to three different sources that all said the same thing. I already kind of started walking on this path before, and that just having all of those together gave me the confidence to go and be like, yes, I can do this. I don't have the experience, so there's going to be like a learning curve. But yeah, I don't know if that answered the question that
No,
you want.
that's and all that interaction is with your old company you're talking about right now, right?
Yeah.
And so it sounds like they were supporting you in that, and then,
Hmm.
but then, so that's what happened is the company got sold and the layoffs happened.
Yeah.
Mm, yeah. Well, it sounds like it all panned out great. So
Yeah. I feel very, very
yeah,
lucky and very, very blessed.
well, good luck. Take care.
Thanks.
Thanks, Jason. Next up is Desiree.
Well, I'm with I'm with the rest of the group. I definitely want to start off by congratulating you, Isaac.
Thank you.
That's really exciting, especially when you get to enjoy that severance before before you have to use it all up. I guess, and I did also want to agree with you that every interview really does help us get closer to the right one. So, way to encourage us that even if one interview doesn't go well, we just keep at it. It's just, it's just kind of the nature of the beast. I did have a quick question though. You had mentioned when you were kind of giving us a little bit of an introductory of how you kind of investigated the underwriting role. So did you
Mhm.
know someone at the bank that you went to kind of talk to, or what did that conversation kind of sound like?
Um, so yeah, so Aaron Eccles was the head of our department. He worked at American Express beforehand. He now works at a different bank. I posted on LinkedIn. He shared the post. Someone at Zion's Bank saw it, and they reached out to me and said, "Hey, reach out to this person." I reached out to that person. They told me to send my interview to another person, so it was a little bit of a trail. Um, and so, uh, and then they asked me to apply. I applied. I didn't make it through the ATS screening on the application, but they interviewed me anyway. I'm assuming because I had the connection to Aaron. Uh, Went into the interview and it went okay. I think some questions I answered well, some questions I didn't answer to their level of satisfaction. Um, and yeah, so that's kind of how it got set up. The other interview was just Indeed job posting.
Okay. Well, it sounds like a lot of great ideas. Again, super excited for you.
Thank you.
All right. Next up is Tammy. By the way, she's also in accounting.
Oh, okay.
We do hear
Sorry.
you. We do hear you.
I keep going back and forth. I can't tell what I am. This is a new headset, so hopefully it works well. Um, I, d- I don't know. I hate accounting, by the way.
Amen.
Um, and I don't know where to go from here because I don't know what field to go into. And so I don't really know what questions to ask, but congratulations. And
Mhm.
hopefully, with what you've indicated with talking with Desiree, I can kind of follow up and kind of go from there.
Okay. I would say if you want to delve again, I'm a big believer in Simon Sinek's like message about everyone has a why and having understanding your why helps you kind of figure out what to do professionally or like what to do with your life. So if you are struggling with that, I would just look them up. It's I can put that in the chat. That's okay.
That'd be great.
Yeah.
And I didn't know that, Tammy. I just thought we were pushing accounting. So yeah.
Yeah, I don't like accounting. It's boring.
Okay. All right. Next up is Dawn.
Maybe I shouldn't share this joke, but I will.
Oh no.
When Tammy talked about accounting, I went to Utah State and our had an economics class, and keep in mind that I think the accounting department was on the fifth floor of the business building, and our econ professor, who was really funny, said you can't go past the. He said accountants are boring. You can't go past the fifth floor of the business building without yawning. Um, so When Tammy said that, I thought of that. So I shared that with a girl I went on a date with who was in accounting and didn't go well. Nevertheless, no, I just wanted to congratulations. And I think that's really great about your why. I think that's huge, and you pulled off. I think what everybody dreams of doing is
Yeah,
getting your
thanks.
severance and turning it into, and turning it into a job and getting it, but going on to your next job, and so basically getting paid double for a little bit of period of time. So congratulations and good luck.
Thank you.
Thanks, Don. Next up is Mike.
Yeah, not really anything else to add other than what's already been asked. It kind of sounds like you used a combination of artificial intelligence and regular people intelligence to get where you were. So that's good advice. Thanks and congratulations.
Thanks.
Okay. Next up is Tom.
Yeah, congratulations. Um,
Thanks.
Back on the accounting boring job. I had a friend that was an accountant, and I described my job to him, um, working in the lab, and then he said, "Man, I thought my job was boring." So definitely accounting, but yeah, in terms of accountants too, though, I mean, I've worked with some very creative and amazing people that yeah, that it's definitely not a boring job for um yeah, when it's applied in creative ways. And so yeah, but yeah, I guess the one question I had is the your new position, will they supply or provide any training for you?
Yeah, so in the interview, they're like, we see that you don't have underwriting experience. We're more than happy to train you on
Right.
that.
And will that be internal or on the job training or
On the job training.
okay, great. So yeah, that's all I had. So yeah, great job.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. And next up is Brett.
Hey, I'm definitely not going to be unique here. But yeah, no questions here other than just a really big congratulations. That's kind of a
Thanks.
awesome awesome gig you got there, and timing worked out really good for you. The only questions I had is you kind of answer this already, is kind of your motivation behind the career change, and then also just
Hmm.
kind of weighing the risks as well. So I'm kind of doing the same thing. I'm branching out a little bit into what I've been doing, and it's, do I go into a field that I have oh, excuse me, less experience in? Do I stay in a field that I have more experience in? So yeah, I've kind of
Hmm.
went through the same questions that you had. So it's just awesome to hear a success story with that. So way to go.
Okay. Thanks, Brett. And I guess my I never put myself on here. Why not? Right. So I just have one question, I guess, is what I know you wanted to do if you could pick. It sounds like you're doing, which sounds like a feel good thing to help under like maybe entrepreneurs or some startups, those kind
Hmm.
of things. So is it for underserved population or
So since I'm with a credit union, they don't have the Community Reinvestment Act aspect, so it's just what they choose to do.
okay.
Um, and it's a small business association, so it's going to be more entrepreneurs, and it's located in West Valley is where the office is. So and West Valley is generally one of the more lower income areas in this greater Salt Lake area. So I think just by where it's located and the fact that it's non-for-profit, it's probably doing some of that already. But it's
Okay.
going to be small business focused, not community reinvestment focused.
Okay. Well, thanks. Let me get myself out of here. How do I get myself out of here now? I can do it everybody else, but I can't do myself. Well, I know how to do that. I'll stick somebody else in here. Maybe I can get rid of both of us real quick. There we go. Nope, I can't. All right. Well,
No
I guess
pressure, Desiree.
what?
I just laughing because you got Desiree there, so I said no pressure to have both of you on there.
Yeah. I'm going to try to see if I can get rid of all of it. Well, I want to just have Isaac, but that's okay. I'll put it back to gallery for at least for the recording. I guess Isaac, any final words of advice to this group?
Um, yeah, it's been really surprising how smoothly this has gone for me, and I know most people aren't going through that smooth of a process. So just keep at it and keep your heads up, and eventually something will work out. So uh just keep going.
Okay. Thank you. And as we do here, we want to just say thank you for coming. Big round of applause for Isaac. And congratulations. I
Thank
mean,
you.
this is I I think this is the perfect storm, you know. You get like he got a some of us want get a signing bonus. He also got a leaving bonus. You know, he got and he gets to keep the money. So again, thank you again for coming today and sharing your story.
Thanks for listening to me talk for way too long.
Okay. Thanks.